Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we're making Gyeron Mari, which is a Korean rolled egg. I wanted to do a dish with ingredients I had at home. I didn't want to go grocery shopping. So these are all the ingredients that I use, which you probably have in your home. So to start this dish, we need to crack 4 eggs into a large bowl. I'm using these gorgeous little blue farm eggs that are available to me. We're going to add in a teaspoon of mirin and a teaspoon of soy sauce. And we're going to give this a really good whisk, making sure to break up all those egg yolks and incorporating the mirin and the soy throughout our eggs. Once we have that all whisked together, we can set that aside while we go ahead and chop up 2 tablespoons worth of bell pepper. And we want to chop this into a small dice. This doesn't have a super long cook time, so we don't want these to be completely raw, but we still do want a little crunch. So just into a small dice like that. We also need 2 tablespoons of diced carrot. So we're just going to cut this on a bias into small planks, or thin planks, I should say, then into strips, and then into a small dice as well. And that can be added to our bell pepper pile, and it's starting to look a little bit like a veggie rainbow. We also need 2 tablespoons of scallion, so just slicing this very thinly on the bias, just because it looks prettier as well. And last but not least, we need 2 teaspoons of a chili pepper. I'm using a serrano chili, but use whatever you have. But definitely take out the ribs and the seeds where all that heat lives, because we don't want it to overpower our eggs. So once we remove all of the ribs, we can go ahead and chop this up into a small dice as well. And that is pretty much all of our prep done. Once everything is sliced up, we can add that into our eggs, give this a little light mix, just to make sure the veggies are incorporated throughout. And at this point, we can go ahead and head over to the stove. So I am using a Tamagoyaki pan, which is this rectangular pan. You don't need this. We definitely want this over low heat. You can use a small round sauté pan. That works as well. But grease up your pan sides and bottom so nothing sticks with a little neutral oil. Then we're going to go ahead and add a 1/4 cup of our egg mixture. Swirl this around so it's coated completely on the bottom. And we want to cook this just until it's set. We don't want to overcook our eggs. And after it starts to set, now here comes the tricky part. This is a trust the process moment. We're going to take a thin spatula and start rolling our egg, just lifting the edge and encouraging it to flip over. So just take your time with this. It is going to look a hot mess at first, but it is going to look prettier as we proceed. So just lifting from the bottom, rolling until we reach the edge. And we're going to pull this back towards us again. We are going to grease up the bottom and the sides of our pan, once again with a little kitchen towel dipped in oil. And we're going to add another 1/4 cup of our egg mixture. Now the trick to making this all melt together into one cohesive little roll is to swirl this around, lift the edge of your egg so it drips underneath, so everything becomes one. And again, just cooking until that egg is set. And I like using some chopsticks here. It helps in the rolling process. And you can see this is starting to come together and look a little more put together. So this is a lot easier than it looks once it's presented. So now adding in another 1/4 cup, lifting up the edge to make sure it's underneath. I'm sorry if you can hear my neighbors stomping away upstairs, but I live in a tiny apartment. Now this is the last little bit, and we're just repeating the process, cooking until that's set, and then rolling this up until we have our beautiful rolled egg. After everything is cooked, we're going to take this out, let it rest on our workbench for 2 minutes before slicing into bite-sized pieces, and this is looking gorgeous. Now this is usually served as an appetizer, so I'm just going to put this on a small plate. And now we can go ahead and get this taste. Eggs are light and fluffy. You get a hint of that mirin and soy. You get the crunch from the bell pepper and the carrot, a little oniony from the scallion, and a tiny little bit of heat from that chili pepper. But this is so easy and so delicious. But there it is, Gyeron Mari. I hope you all may try to make this in your home. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today. I really do appreciate you. If you like this video, give it a like. If you loved it, please consider subscribing and hitting that notification bell because I put out new videos every Thursday. Thank you again, and until next time, happy cooking.